together for pranayama breath. The way we do this breath is to interlace all 10 fingers, knuckles rest lightly below your chin, thumbs rest against your throat. As you inhale, pull the air through your nose, down through your throat, into your lungs. Elbows rise all the way up to the sky, keeping your gaze straight ahead. Once your lungs are full of air, tilt your head back, open mouth, exhale. Audible, just like you're fogging up a mirror in front of you. Bring those elbows to touch, biceps parallel to the ground. Chin comes back down, gaze straight ahead to start the cycle over again. We're gonna do a set of 10 to warm up. Each inhale, each exhale is for a count of 6. So a nice exhale to get any toxic stale air out of the lungs. And begin. Inhale, elbows rise all the way up to the sky. Keep that gaze straight ahead and tilt your head back, open mouth, exhale. Push all that air out, elbows come to touch. Chin comes back down, gaze straight ahead. Inhale, lift those elbows up, 4, 5, 6. Tilt your head back, open mouth, exhale. Push all that air up, fog up that mirror, elbows touch. Chin down, gaze straight ahead. Inhale, lift those elbows all the way up to the sky. Keep inhaling, maximum expansion of your lungs. Exhale, tilt your head back, open mouth, audible. Hear that breath, elbows come to touch, chin down, gaze straight ahead. Inhale, elbows all the way up, 4, 5, 6. Stretch your side body, tilt your head back, open mouth, exhale. Fog up that window, touch your elbows, chin down, gaze straight ahead. Inhale, lift those elbows all the way up. Imagine a string is pulling from the ground up through the crown of your head. Tilt your head back, open mouth, exhale, push all that air out, elbows touch, chin down, gaze straight ahead. Inhale, lift those elbows up, 4, 5, 6. Head back, open mouth, exhale, 4, 5, 6. Feeling your body warm up with each inhale, exhale, chin down, gaze straight ahead. Last few, make them your best. Inhale, lift those elbows all the way up, maximum expansion in your lungs. Tilt your head back, open mouth, exhale, bring those elbows to touch. Keep your gaze up at the sky until your exhale is complete. Chin down, gaze straight ahead. Inhale, lift those elbows up, 4, 5, 6. Fully expand those lungs, tilt your head back. Exhale, pushing all that stale air out of your lungs. Elbows touch, chin down, gaze straight ahead. Last one, make it your strongest. Inhale, lift all those elbows up to the sky. Once you feel like you can't breathe anymore, sip in just a last sip of air and tilt your head back, open mouth, exhale. Get all of that air that's no longer serving you out of your lungs. Tilt your head down, gaze straight ahead, hands alongside the body, palms forward into Dasana. Just a normal cycle of breath to reset here. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Nice. Kicking things off with standing half moon. Toes and heels are together. Inhale, arms up overhead, interlacing all 10 fingers. Release your index fingers into a steeple grip and just begin to move from right to left, warming up your mid-spine, your low spine, maybe some forward to backward movement as well. Once that feels good, make your way back up to center. Engage low body, inhale, lengthen up to the sky, and on the exhale, upper body comes to the right, hips press to the left. Reaching up and out of your low spine, never crunching into the small of your back, feeling space between each and every vertebrae as you reach up and out of your low back, checking in with the front of your body. You want to make sure that your shoulders and collarbone are nice and open. If you have a mirror in front of you, make sure that you can see both of your shoulders in that front mirror, squaring your body off. Final few moments right here. Keep hinging to the right. Push, 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 and release back up to center. Re-engage low body. Inhale, lengthen up to the sky. On the next exhale, pull that body to the left, hinge to the left as the hips move to the right, reaching up and out of the low back, feeling that space between each and every vertebrae as you stretch long and to the left. Checking in with your alignment once again, making sure both shoulders are visible in the front mirror or just towards the front, making sure that your collarbone is nice and open, space between your shoulders and your ears. Final moments right here to push, 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 and release back up to center. Re-engage low body, inhale, lengthen up to the sky. This time, drop your head back. Begin to draw an imaginary line all the way towards the back. Keep breathing, releasing your spine. All the weight is in your heels here, trusting your balance. Final breath right here, make it your deepest back bend. And release back up to center, keeping your elbows locked, your biceps by your ears, hinging at the hips with a straight spine. We're coming all the way down to a forward fold. Once your fingertips touch the mat, go ahead and walk your legs out, bending one knee, then the other. Challenge yourself to keep your heels glued to your mat, giving yourself a little more of a hip stretch. Coming now into hands to feet. Bend your knees, cup your hands around your heels, pulling your elbows in behind your knees, your calves, your forearms rather, are wrapped around your calves. Imagine that your elbows are touching in behind your knees. Pull your chest to your thighs, your forehead to your shins, the crown of your head falls heavy to your mat, and kick those legs straight. Kick those hips high to the sky, pull that chest down, kicking, pulling, final breath to make your deepest forward fold. And release your hands back to the top of the mat. Hands come back into steeple grip. Biceps glued to the ears, rise back up with a straight spine to standing. And hands alongside the body into Tadasana. Full cycle of breath. Inhale. Exhale. Excellent. Coming now into awkward pose. Step your foot about 6 inches apart from the other foot. Feet are hip distance aligned. Arms rise up parallel to the ground, fingertips in line with your shoulders. Your arms are going to be where they are for all 3 variations of this posture. For the first variation, soften the knees and sit back into an imaginary chair behind you. Now your hips are going to push back, your chest is up and visible in that front mirror. There's a natural C curve in your spine on this posture. So hips are sitting back, core is nice and strong, gaze is straight ahead. Keep sitting even deeper, trying to get your thighs parallel to the ground. Knees are hip distance apart. Last adjustment, bring those fingertips back up in line with your shoulders if they were sinking down. Final breath and release. Keep those arms where they are. For the second variation, come up high onto your tiptoes. Soften those knees, sitting your hips back into that same imaginary chair. This time though, we want the spine to be straight as can be, just like it's sliding down a wall. Come down as far as you can. The goal is to get those thighs parallel to the ground. Shaking is good here. You're building those inner thigh muscles, working on that lower body foundation strength. Final breath right here. Core is strong, gaze straight ahead, fingertips in line with shoulders, and release. Heels down to the mat, arms stay where they are. For the final variation, pop your heels up just a couple inches. We're coming to the balls of our feet. Squeeze the knees together and lower your hips all the way down. If your hips reach your hips, if your hips reach your heels, pop them up a couple inches. We want to hover above the heels, squeezing the knees together, creating a slide effect. If you placed a ball on your lap, it would roll right off. Keep those fingertips in line with the shoulders, core strong, gaze straight ahead. Final breath and release. Heels down, hands beside the body for Tadasana. Quick cycle of breath. Inhale, exhale. Nice. Next, eagle pose. Toes and heels come back together. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch. Swing the right arm underneath the left, crossing at the elbows and the wrists, thumbs towards the face, pinkies towards the front mirror. Sink back into that chair. Reach the right leg up and over. Wrapping your foot around your calf if you can. If it's not accessible today, just pointing your toe the direction you'd like it to go. Maybe use it as a kickstand. It will go around your leg one day. Sitting deeper into your chair, squeeze those arms and legs like wet ropes. And release. Arms come up overhead, palms touch. Swinging the left arm underneath the right. Crossing at the elbows and the wrists, thumbs towards the face, pinkies towards the front. Sitting down into that chair, lifting the left leg up and over. Wrap your foot around the calf or just point it in the direction you'd like it to go. Deep inhale as you squeeze those arms and legs like wet ropes, opening 14 major joints of the body in this posture. Sit even deeper, make that bind stronger, and release. Arms up overhead, palms touch, mini back bend. And make your way back to center. Arms come down alongside the body, Tadasana, quick cycle of breath. Excellent. Now is a great time to take a very quick break if you need a sip of water or anything like that before we continue. Perfect. Going next into our standing series, we're going to stay at the top of the mat. Toes and heels come together for standing, forehead to knee. Shift your weight into your left leg, hands alongside the body, palms forward. Pop that right knee up. Knee is at a 90-degree angle. Foot is flexed, toes towards the face. If this feels good, you can stay right here. This is the posture. But if that standing leg is straight and strong, let's go ahead and round down. Interlacing all 10 fingers below the right toes. Readjust the knee back in line with the hip. If that standing leg is still straight and strong, let's kick the heel out in line with the hip. The heel is never above the knee to avoid any injury or hyperextension. Lock those elbows out, making them straight. Or if full expression is in your practice, you can bend your elbows, rounding your spine, bringing your forehead to your knee, holding here for one more breath. And release the same way you came in. Excellent, shifting weight into the right leg. Pop that left knee up, knee is at a 90-degree angle, foot is flexed, toes towards the face. Once again, if this feels good, you can stay right here. If that right leg is straight and strong, let's round down, interlace all 10 fingers before the left toes. Readjust that knee back in line with the hip. If the standing leg is still strong, let's kick that left heel out, heel in line with the hip. Never above, avoiding hyperextension of the knee. Elbows locked. Or begin bending them, rounding your spine, forehead to knee for full expression. Hold it here for one more breath. And slowly release the same way you came in. Tadasana, quick cycle of breath. Inhale, exhale. Nice. Coming now into standing bow. Shifting the weight into your left leg. Right elbow comes to right hip, palm faces up. We're gonna bend the right knee. Drop your hand back, grab the inside of the right foot. Knees come back together. Left arm comes up, palm forward. On the next exhale, kick that right foot out and back into your hand. Reaching up and over. Upper body comes down. Reaching directly in front of you. Gaze is right past your fingertips. Chin is towards your shoulder. Trying to get the toes up above your head before you completely lean forward. Kick and stretch. The reach is 50-50 in this posture. Final breath. And release. Excellent. Left elbow to left hip, palm up. Bend your left knee. Drop your hand back, grab the inside of the left foot. Knees come back together, right arm comes up, palm forward. And on the next exhale, kick that left foot out and back. Upper body comes down, reaching, stretching in front of you. Your gaze is just past your fingertips. Keep kicking those toes up high, up above your head if you can. Upper body comes down even deeper. Kick and reach is 50-50 in this posture. The harder you kick into your hand, the easier for your balance. Final breath, final kick, and release. Excellent. Hands alongside the body, Tadasana. Inhale. Exhale. Nice balancing stick. We're going to come to the back of the mat. Inhale, arms up overhead. Interlace all 10 fingers. Release your index fingers into steeple grip. With your biceps glued to the ears, we'll take a big step with our right foot forward. Left foot lifts up off the mat. Upper body comes down parallel to the ground. Reaching from fingertips to toes, stretching, feeling the space between each and every vertebrae. Drop that left hip down. Final breath, final stretch. And release. Toes and heels come back together. Engage lower body. Inhale, lengthen up to the sky. This time step forward with your left leg. Right foot lifts up off the mat. Upper body comes down parallel to the ground. Keep stretching from fingertips to toes. Feel that space between each and every vertebrae. Drop that right hip down. Keep stretching, keep reaching. Parallel to the ground is your goal. Final breath and release. Toes and heels come back together. Hands alongside the body, Tadasana. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Coming into our separate leg stretches. Let's go ahead and turn to our left so that we can step long across the mat. Staying at the back of our mat, toes and heels come together for standing separate leg. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch. And step your right foot wide across your mat, about 4 feet. Arms come down parallel to the ground. Inhale, chest up, look up. And on the exhale, tuck your chin, hinge at the hips, and swan dive forward. Grabbing onto your ankles, the sides of your feet, your heels, whatever is accessible today. The goal of this posture is to get your forearms flush against your shins. You want your spine straight, your legs straight, and the crown of your head touching your mat. If that's a little daunting right now, go ahead and bend your legs as much as you need to. Make sure that spine is nice and straight, crown of the head towards the ground, and work on straightening those legs. And final breath right here. On your inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold even deeper. And slowly arms extend out to the sides, rising back up with a straight spine to standing. Step your right foot into left, arms come up overhead, palms touch. Hands along your side, Tadasana, quick cycle of breath. Inhale, exhale. Nice, coming now into triangle. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch. Step your right foot wide once again, about 4 feet. Arms come down parallel to the ground. We're gonna shift our right foot towards the front of the mat. Our back foot stays parallel to the back of the mat. We're coming into our warrior two posture. So we wanna warm up our right knee, just leaning into it, warming up that knee, coming into your deepest warrior two lunge. Once that feels good, check in with your front knee. Make sure that your knee is directly over your ankles. If your knee is coming in front of your toes, widen your stance just a little bit. Once that feels good, flip those palms to the side, reaching forward and down, coming into triangle on the right. The right elbow pushes the right knee open. Left fingertips are reaching up toward the sky. Pull your chest open. Open your heart to the sky. Pull your left shoulder back. Right shoulder comes a little bit forward, reaching up out of your shoulder blade. Let that left hip sink down a little bit more. Find your deepest lunge, final breath. And slowly release upper body to straight. Straighten that right leg, pivot the toes back to the front. And we're going straight into the left. So pivot the left foot towards the back of the mat. And begin to work in that front leg, coming into your warrior two posture on the left. Check in with your knee once again. Make sure it's directly over your ankle. Once that feels good, flip those palms if they're not already facing the front. Reaching forward and down, coming into triangle on the left. Left elbow pushes that left knee open. Right fingertips up to the sky. Pull your chest open. Open your heart up to the sky. Pull your right shoulder back. Left shoulder forward, fingertips reaching up and out. Sink that right hip a little bit deeper into your lunge. Finding your deepest lunge in your final breath right here. And slowly upper body comes back up to center. Straighten that left leg. Step right foot into left. Arms come up overhead, palms touch. Tadasana, quick cycle of breath. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Standing separate leg, head to knee. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch. This time your palms are going to be glued together. So thumbs are crossed, palms are together, biceps glued to your ears, your arms are nice and straight. Stepping your right foot out, not quite as wide this time, maybe just about 3 feet. We're going to pivot on our heels, sending our right toes towards the front of the mat. Our back foot is at a 45 degree angle. Back toes are facing the top left corner of our mat. And we just want to swing the left hip through a little bit. Our goal here is to square our hips off to the front of the mat as much as possible. Once those hips feel nice and loose, we're going to inhale, lengthen spine to sky, tuck your chin around your spine, and dive into the mat like you're diving into a pool. Keeping your chin tucked and spine rounded so that you can touch your forehead to your knee. Bend your knee as much as you need to. Checking in with your alignment, making sure hips are squared, bringing your right hip back, left hip forward. Fingertips can be alongside your toes for balance, or for an extra challenge, keep those hands in prayer. Final breath, final stretch. And slowly bring your hands back to prayer in front of you. Keeping those biceps glued to the ears, let's rise back up at the hips to standing. And we're going to pivot on our heels, sending ourselves directly to the back. Left toes are towards the back of the mat. Back foot is at a 45 degree angle. Swing that right hip through. And once our hips feel nice and square, inhale, lengthen up to the sky. Tuck the chin around the spine, dive into the mat like a pool. Bend that left knee as much as you need to get forehead to knee connection. Checking in with the alignment of your hips, you want them nice and square. Left hip up and back, right hip down and forward. Final breath, final stretch. And hands come back to prayer in front of your toes, biceps glued to the ears, rising back up to standing. Pivot back towards the side of our mat, stepping right foot back into left. Tadasana, quick cycle of breath. Inhale, exhale. Nice. Coming now into toe pose. We're gonna come back up to the top of our mat. Toes and heels come together. Shifting the weight into the left leg. Pop the right knee up, and just like a bicep curl, pull that left foot into your hip crease. Now, if it feels like your leg is slipping, you're welcome to hang onto your foot right here, working on that foundational balance of your left leg. The goal is to lock your foot into place. So let's activate the glutes, press those hips forward, and press the knee towards the back, locking that foot into place. One or both hands come to heart center, pull those elbows close into your torso. You can stay right here. This is tree pose. Or maybe you'd like to grow your branches in this pose. Maybe you're still, maybe you sway. And slowly bring your hands back to heart center. Release that right foot back down to the mat. Hands alongside the body, palms forward. Shift the weight into the right leg. Pop that left knee up. Bicep curl that foot up into your hip crease. Once again, hanging on to your foot if that feels more stable to you, working on that foundational balance. Otherwise, activate those glutes. Hips press forward, knee presses back. One or both hands come to heart center, elbows in close to the torso. You can stay right here in tree, or maybe you grow your branches once again. Maybe cactus arms, maybe closing your eyes for an added balance challenge. Whatever feels good for a few moments right here. And slowly hands to heart center. Release that left foot back down to the mat. Hands alongside the body. Quick cycle of breath. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. We're going to do one more set of tree pose, this time advancing into toe pose. So shifting the weight into the left leg, pop the right knee up. Bicep curl that foot into your hip crease. Once again, hanging on here if that feels good. Otherwise, let's lock it into place. For toe pose, arms come out parallel to the ground. Keeping that leg, your foundational left leg, locked, let's hinge at the hips, coming all the way forward. Once your fingertips touch the mat, soften your knee, lower your hips down to your heel. Arms come alongside the body for balance. And slowly one or both hands to heart center. Taking your time with your practice, just trying it if you'd like to. If you fall out, come right back in. And slowly toe rises to meet tree. Hands to heart center. Release that right foot back down to the mat. Hands alongside the body. Shifting the weight into your right leg, pop that left knee up. Bicep curl that foot into the hip crease, hanging onto the toes if that feels good, or locking it into place. One or both hands come to heart center. You're welcome to stay here in tree. If we're doing toe on the left, arms come out parallel to the ground. Lock that right standing leg and hinge at the hips, coming forward. Fingertips touch the mat. Soften your knee, lower your hips down to your heel, arms alongside the body, finding your balance. And slowly one or both hands to heart center. Again, taking your time in this posture, just trying it out if you'd like to. If you fall out, come right back in. Breathing through every step of your journey. And slowly toe rises to meet tree. Hands to heart center. Release your left foot down. Tadasana, big cycle of breath. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. We've made it to our first Shavasana. So let's go ahead and lay down on the mat. All right, we're going to do some belly breathing first. So just to rejuvenate from all the work we just did in our standing series. So if you'd like, put a hand on your chest and a hand on your belly. We'll do a quick guide of this belly breathing together. Now our belly breath is just that. Our air comes through the nose, down through the throat, bypassing the chest. The chest will stay still as we inhale and exhale, but our belly rises and fills for a deep diaphragmatic breath. So let's give it a try. Inhale, belly rise to the sky, chest stays still. Exhale, belly falls. Chest stays still. One more together. Inhale, belly rise all the way to the sky. And exhale, belly falls to the ground, chest stays still. You're welcome to keep your hands on your body as a guide. Otherwise, you can bring your hands alongside your body, palms up. Let's do a few more breaths on our own here. Inhale, belly rise to the sky. And exhale, belly fall. Keeping your eyes open, this is an active Shavasana. Signaling to your body we're not in complete rest, but we are reoxygenating our blood right now, getting full, fresh oxygen into our system, rejuvenating from all of the work we just did. Final breath right here, nice big inhale, belly rise to the sky. And exhale, belly fall to the ground. Nice, coming now into wind removing posture. Pop the right knee up, interlace all 10 fingers below the knee. Bring that knee out and around your rib cage up toward your shoulder. Breathe deeply, and on your exhale, pull your knee in towards your shoulder. You're avoiding your rib cage on this pull. Your knee is coming sort of on the side of your torso here. This posture is so good for internal detoxification. This side, massaging your ascending colon. And release that right leg down. Pop your left knee up, interlace all 10 fingers below the left knee. Pull that knee up and around your rib cage. Nice big inhale. Exhale, pull that knee. Chin is tucked. The back of your neck is resting on the mat. Both your shoulders are rest against the mat. For wind removing posture, we want our spine nice and straight from the base of our neck down to our tailbone. Release that left leg down. And this time pop both knees up. If you can, reach both arms around, grabbing for your elbows. Pull your knees in close. Spine comes back down to your mat. Once again, tucking your chin, looking down the midline of your body. Trying to get both of those shoulders pressed against the mat. Nice big inhale. Exhale, pull the knees into your chest. Focus on pressing your tailbone down towards your mat. The base of your neck to your tailbone, nice and flat. Nice big inhale. And exhale, pull those knees. Nice, release those legs long across your mat. We're coming next into our spine series. So we're gonna get there through a yogi sit-up. Inhale those arms up overhead, palms up, thumbs cross, toes are together, feet are flexed. Inhale, sit up. Double exhale. Nice. So we're just gonna flip over onto our bellies, coming into our spine series. We're gonna come straight into cobra. So chin is at the top of the mat, hands alongside your shoulders, creating little cricket arms alongside your body. Legs are zipped together like a tail. The tops of your feet are pressed into the mat like an anchor. The tops of your feet will never leave the mat. On the next inhale, pop that upper body all the way up. Little to no weight in your fingertips. Your hands are just a guide. Lifting that spine all the way up. Look up to the sky. Broaden your collarbone up and release. Look to the right side of your mat. Left ear comes down. Arms alongside the body. Palms up for a quick cycle of breath. For our spine series, we do 2 of each posture. So for our second set of cobra, bring your chin back up to the top of the mat. Hands below your shoulders, creating cricket arms alongside your body. Tops of the feet are pressed into the mat like an anchor. Legs are zipped up like a tail. On the next inhale, pop that upper body up to the sky. Little to no weight in those fingertips. They are just a guide. Look up. Broaden your collarbone up to the sky. Keep reaching. Feel it in the small of your back. Toes are at anchor to kick up once more. And release. Look to the left side of your mat. Right ear comes down. Arms alongside the body, palms up. Deep cycles of breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Using this mini Shavasana time for recovery. Coming next into locust. Bring your chin to the top of the mat. We're going to flip our hands so that the palms are pressed into the mat. Lifting one hip, then the other. Bring those forearms underneath you. Your hips are resting on the backs of your forearms. Your thighs are on the backs of your hands. Relax your left leg completely. Pop that right foot up to the sky. Rotate your inner thigh so that the bottom of the foot is stamping the sky. And release. Relax that right leg. Pop the left leg up. Again, rotate that inner thigh so the bottom of the foot is stamping the ceiling or the sky. Lift up and release. Now keep your arms where they are. We're just going to readjust the grip. Bring your fingertips as close to your knees as you can. Pinkies to touch. Legs are zipped up like a tail. To protect our neck, we want to kiss the mat on this posture. And on the next inhale, lift both legs up. Keep reaching, keep stretching. Upper back is pulling those legs up. Arms below you are foundation to kick up. Last breath and release. Look to the right side of your mat. Left ear comes down. Roll your arms out from underneath you. Palms up. Quick cycle of breath right here. Second set of locusts, bring your chin back up to the top of the mat. Flipping our hands for the last time. Bring those forearms underneath your body, pinkies to touch, fingertips close to your knees. Relax your left leg. Pop the right leg up. Rotate that inner thigh so the bottom of the foot reaches the sky. And release. Relax that right leg. Pop the left leg up. Rotate that inner thigh. Bottom of the foot stamps the sky. And release. Readjust that grip, fingertips even closer to your knees, pinkies to touch, legs zipped up like a tail, kissing the mat to protect your neck. On the next inhale, lift those legs up. And release. Look to the left side of the mat. Right ear comes down, arms alongside your body, palms up. Coming now into full locust. Chin comes back up to the top of the mat. Arms come out wide like airplane wings. Thumbs forward, pinkies back. On the next inhale, kick everything up to the sky. Legs are together like a tail. Chest is up, collarbone is up towards the sky, looking up. Arms alongside the body like airplane wings, like a beautiful airplane flowing through the sky. Last breath, last kick. And release. Look to the right side of the mat. Arms alongside the body. Palms up. Quick cycle of breath. Second set, full locust. Chin back up to the top of the mat. Legs zipped up like a tail. Arms out to the sides like airplane wings. Thumbs forward, pinkies back. On the next inhale, kick everything up off the mat, just like an airplane. Chest is up, looking up. Feel it in the small of your back, the arch of your spine. Keep kicking. Last breath. And release. Look to the left side of the mat, right ear down. Arms alongside the body, palms up. Nice cycle of breath right here. We just worked our upper, middle, and lower back. So we're going to pull it all together with our final posture of spine series, and that is floor bow. So bring your chin back up to the top of the mat, bend your knees, reach back and grab the outside of your ankles or your toes. And on the next inhale, kick everything up off the mat, kicking into a beautiful teardrop shape from the side, shifting onto the soft part of your belly, maintaining shallow breath so you don't rock back and forth. Final breath, final kick. And release. Look to the right side of the mat. Arms alongside the body, palms up, cycle of breath. spine series, last set of floor bow. Bring your chin back up to the top of the mat. Bend your knees, reach back and grab the tops of your feet or your ankles, whichever is more accessible. Next inhale, kick everything up, all the way up to a beautiful teardrop shape. Shift onto that soft part of your belly. Maintain shallow breath, kick, breathe, and release. Look to the left side. Arms alongside the body, palms up. All right, moving on next to our cool down postures. We're just gonna flip over onto our backs, coming into a traditional Shavasana posture. If you'd like, while you're here, you can just lay in Shavasana, or maybe you'd like to take a happy baby, reneutralizing that spine, maybe rolling from side to side, massaging that low back, giving your spine just a little bit of love from all the work we just did in spine series. Whatever feels good, a moment of freestyle right here. And when you're ready, extend those legs nice and long to your mat. We are going to do a final yogi sit-up here. So arms up overhead, palms up, thumbs cross. Toes and heels are together, feet are flexed. Inhale, sit up. Double exhale. Nice. Making our way back up to the top of the mat here for fixed firm. The top of the knees come together. Our feet are open slightly wider than our hips. So lower your hips down very slowly in between your heels, paying extra attention to your knees. If anything hurts or pinches, lean forward and use your hands in front of you as leverage to lower down a little bit more slowly. If everything feels good and your hips are seated on your mat, let's begin to lower back. Hands onto your feet, elbows onto your mat. And then slowly your shoulders all the way down. Arms rise up above your head, reaching for opposite elbows. Tuck your chin, look down your midline of your body. Pull those shoulders away from your ears, arching that spine, feeling that stretch from the base of your neck all the way down to your tailbone. Squeeze those knees together, protecting the ligaments in your knees. Breathing through this stretch, just a couple cycles of breath right here. Slowly begin to make your way up to seated. Elbows to your mat, hands to your feet, pressing all the way up. Rocking forward just for a moment into tabletop. We're going to tap out the toes, just getting the blood flowing back down to our feet. Fixed firm cuts the blood flow off from our knees. So getting the blood flowing. Pull your knees and feet together. Hips are seated onto your heels. We're coming now into half tortoise. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch, thumbs cross. Keep those biceps glued to the ears. We want to activate the core on this posture. So imagine that there is a string running from the ground all the way up through the crown of your head, keeping that spine nice and strong, arms nice and straight, palms glued together. Activate that core and hinge down at the hips. Keeping that straight line. Once your fingers reach the mat, dig those pinkies in, lifting the wrists up. This is an active posture, so you want to keep your arms engaged, core engaged, eyes open, all while keeping your hips glued to your heels. Your elbows are locked and active, lifted up away from your mat. Final breath right here. And reactivate that core, biceps glued to the ears, rising back up to seated. And hands down alongside the body. Quick cycle of breath. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. We've made it to the peak of our class now, to camel. So let's go ahead and come on up to our knees. Knees are hip distance apart. Feet directly in line with your knees behind you. Hands come to your lower back. Fingertips on the inside, thumbs on the outside. Squeezing your elbows in together. And on the next exhale, push those hips forward, looking back, going back, falling back. If it feels comfortable, dropping those hands down to your heels, fingertips on the inside, thumbs on the outside. Keep pressing those hips forward. Keep reaching back, looking back, trusting your back bend here. Breathing through this posture. We have a final few breaths right here. Breathing through the posture is the key to kind of reaching your maximum capacity here. Maintaining shallow breath. Final breath right here for your back bend, and slowly release back up to kneeling position. We're gonna pull the knees and feet together, hips come back onto the heels for rabbit posture. We just experienced our deepest back bend in camel, so we're going to counteract that with our deepest forward bend in rabbit. So hips are seated onto the heels, arms come alongside the body, grasping our heels, fingertips on the inside, thumbs on the outside. Tuck your chin around your spine, bringing your forehead all the way down to your mat. The goal here is to have forehead to knee connection if you can. There should be little to no weight in your head. Lifting those hips up, rounding your spine, arms pull to straight alongside your body. Feel that space between each and every vertebrae as you stretch forward. Keep lifting those hips, round your spine, arms straight. Final breath. And release your hips back down to your heels. Slowly rise up one vertebrae at a time. Your head should be the last to rise. Excellent. Seated forward fold. Let's lean onto our left hip. Kick your right leg out in front of you. Pull your left foot to inner thigh. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch. Hinging at the hips, coming all the way down. Interlace all 10 fingers below your right foot. Pop your knee up as much as you need to get that forehead to knee connection. Tuck your chin, activating your thyroid. And drop that left shoulder down just a little bit, squaring your spine off to the mat below you. And slowly release, challenging yourself to keep those fingers interlaced as you switch legs. Kick that left leg forward, pull your right foot to inner thigh. Hinge at the hips, coming all the way forward. Interlace all 10 fingers below the left toes. Pop that left knee up as much as you need to for forehead to knee connection. Drop that right shoulder down just a little bit. Nice squared hips and spine towards your mat. And slowly release back up to seated, challenging yourself to keep those fingers interlaced. Let's kick both legs forward. Shifting from side to side, releasing any flesh below your sit bones if you need to. Toes and heels are together, feet are flexed. We're going to separate our hands just in line with our shoulders, creating peace fingers right here, and keeping the spine nice and straight first. We're going to hinge at the hips, coming all the way down. Keep that gaze straight ahead. Grab your big toes with your peace fingers and pull that chest forward. Keep that spine nice and straight. First part of this posture. Nice big inhale, pull. And exhale, round your spine. Bring your forehead to your knees. And slowly release back up to seated. Coming into our seated spinal twist. Let's pull the right foot up under the left sit bone. Left leg crosses up and over, left heel against the outside of the right knee, making sure that both of your sit bones are flat against your mat here. Left hand in behind the back as a kickstand. Right arm comes up and over, elbow pressed against the outside of the knee. Inhale, lengthen spine to sky. Exhale, twist towards the back of your mat. Twist, twist, twist. And release back to the front. Just switching up our legs here. Pulling our left foot to our right sit bone. Right leg crosses up and over, heel against the outside of the knee. Again, making sure both sit bones are flat against your mat, making any adjustments here. Right arm comes in behind back. And your left arm up and over, elbow pressed against the outside of the knee. Inhale, lengthen spine to sky. Exhale, twist, twist, twist. And slowly releasing back to the front. Releasing the legs, we're going to come into our final posture for our final breath, Kapalbhati breathing. Coming onto our knees is traditional for the posture, but if it's more comfortable to sit cross-legged, you are welcome to do that as well. Hands are on your knees, arms nice and straight. The way this breath works is it's a forced exhale through pursed lips. The inhale is natural. This is our final detoxifying breath, taking every bit of detoxification wrung out of our organs through our practice and forcing everything out through our breath. We're just going to do one set of this breath. So we're going to begin with a nice big inhale to start and exhale. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. That's the end of our practice. You're welcome to come into a final Shavasana for a few moments. Go ahead and lay onto your back. Namaste, Yami. Hands alongside your body, palms up. Shavasana is where all of the benefits are received of your practice. Always take a few moments in Shavasana to end your practice. You're welcome to stay in this Shavasana as long as you'd like. And then whenever you're ready, maybe roll onto your right side. Place your way up into a seated position. We can end our practice with our hands and our hearts. Thank you so much for taking part in our Hot 26. Namaste.